All right, so Twitch is cooked. All right. I'm sorry, folks, but Twitch is in a situation where they cannot fix the sinking ship. All right. And just to add more fuel to the fire, TwitchCon has gone down as probably the most epic fail in internet history. I mean, what times we're living in where Twitch is more despised and hated than any of the other social media platforms. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of censorship on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, everywhere else in between. There's a lot of problems on all the social media platforms. But Twitch worked really hard in getting that heavyweight title, which is why we are probably looking at the demise of Twitch, because Amazon, while they did buy them in 2014, I don't know how all of you would feel, because I know that all of you are very responsible, self-aware people. But if you had something that was costing you money, bleeding you money, in which the only way it was ever viable was that you were the only thing keeping it alive. Twitch has not earned a profit since 2014, since it's owned by Amazon. Now, these corporations are able to spend money, print out money out the butt. They're able to do all this crazy stuff. But the fact that now they got to pay attention, because this isn't the first time there's a security issue at Twitch, or is there a health issue or a safety for streamers. You know, in 2022, one Twitch streamer and another were having a mock fight in a ball pit. Like, you know, if you remember American Gladiators, they'd be fighting with the sticks, and there'd be like a big foamed pit where the fighters would fall down in there. Well, two Twitch streamers were doing that. But see, the problem that happened at Twitch, especially I think this was in 2021, 2022, I believe, one of the Twitch streamers fell into the pit, but the pit wasn't properly padded. She landed on her tailbone, causing her paralysis because there were steel beams there. It was not properly padded. No safety. Again, just a prime example. But also, there's been many instances in which Twitch streamers were attacked, be they large content creators or smaller content creators. And God, I feel sorry for the smaller content creators, because they don't have security, you know, and they probably can't even afford their own private security. They probably have to rely on a friend or somebody close to, you know, be that additional security, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of unhinged people out there in the internet. So what's going on? Twitch CEO breaks silence after streamer was assaulted at TwitchCon. So while some claim Twitch has dropped off its pandemic peak of popularity, there's no escaping the power of the video live streaming service. Whether it be watching hours of big names streaming their favorite games, or taking part in ludicrous challenges, or simply helping just chatting live up to its name, there continues to be a division over the idea that creators can make a not so small fortune by putting themselves out there on Twitch. Now, here's the thing. We all know about Hassan, Pokemon, Kai Cenat, all of these people. All of these people. But I want to point out that things are getting a little bit out of hand here, especially in the in real life streaming world, which will have some consequences for the rest of us on other platforms. Potentially, most likely, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X are going to be hit hard by this. Rumble, I think, in regards to how it handles content, and Kick should be able to weather the storm. But the question is for how long, because, again, each platform runs differently. But the fact that you have a lot of controversial streams that happened this year, for example, the YouTube game is getting crazy. You have people being murdered live on YouTube live streams, being gunned down on TikTok, or seeing people die in humiliating Kick streams, or either that, seeing criminal nuisance streamers on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick causing problems in foreign countries like the Philippines, South Korea, Japan, Thailand. I mean, really, of all places to screw around, definitely don't screw around in the Philippines. Ask Vitelli how he's doing. All right. That man's life will never, ever, never be the same. But also, there's so much controversy surrounding Mr. Dan Clancy, who even gave a thumbs up and wished a live streamer all the best as a woman was giving live birth on Twitch. I mean, are we really in Black Mirror now? Because that's what we're in right now. Black Mirror time. Hey, everybody, welcome to Twitch. You have your options. Seeing video games being played, talk politics. Oh, woman giving birth. You know, that was a joke a long time ago, but here we are. Yes. You know, good luck in trying to put out all the fires here, buddy, because that's where we're at right now. And it is truly unacceptable. I want to play this video again of Twitch CEO talking to Taylor Lorenz about what happened to Emily as she was assaulted at TwitchCon. You know, if you listen carefully, he's giving a word salad.
And others. Obviously, we saw one Twitch streamer yesterday, Emiru, get assaulted by a male fan. And a lot of streamers have, especially female streamers, have talked about, you know, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engage.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Listen, you can moderate your chat. You can do whatever you want. I mean, everybody can do that. But listen, there's a lot of psychos out there. All right, listen, there's a lot of people out there. I've had a few incidents where people have known me and met me, again, sporadically, very sporadically. I'm a Z-list celebrity. At the end of the day, I'm a nobody, okay? All right, just a simple person living in a world understandably way out of my control. But I got to tell you, you know, it did raise the hair on the back of my neck of saying, hey, are you Kit? And yeah, it's not really, it's like, oh, yeah, hi, how are you? Because you don't know really what the person wants. And all the conversations have been good. All of them been good. But I got to say it was, it threw me off for a loop. For a second there, threw me off for a loop, just for a tiny second there. But thankfully, God willing, everything was good, no problems. But you know what this guy here, Dan Clancy's saying is, oh yeah, you can kick bad people out. No, if somebody wants to have a parasocial relationship with somebody, and they're not mentally well in the head, blocking them, it's like they'll still find a way to what happened on TwitchCon, because you know Emily, the woman who was attacked in the video, and I'm not going to show it because it's, you know, it's pretty harsh, you know, what happened to her, because this dude came up to her and forced himself upon her, which, you know, he walked past Twitch security, so her security had to step in to actually save her and get rid of that said person who was assaulting her. What does it say about Dan Clancy and the people that he's hiring as the security?
I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about helping creators, but that means there's always more work to be done, because that's the world we live in now.
Demi had posted earlier today that I guess this fan was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon. Why should streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such a secure event to the point that even like journalists have had struggled. Like, you know, it is very secure, but here's this man that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things. So why?
It's not very secure. There have been other examples of security failing at their job at TwitchCon. All right, this is just the most high profile one, and thankfully it's getting attention. And because it's getting enough attention, all the other incidents that took place at TwitchCon are also getting attention here too. And yes, folks, everyone's saying, Kit, what are you talking about, a woman giving birth on a live stream? It's very real. I'm sorry to start off your morning like this, but it's real. I'm not going to take it back. It's real. It's real. God help us. It's real.
Should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, you know, issues like this have happened?
Well, I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right? And so, you know, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do and what works for them, right? So I don't want to get into any, you know, specifics or details, but part of that is working with creators and, you know, trying to find them. Right now, we're definitely, you know, ramping it up to make sure creators know that we have the resources there to help them figure out what's right for them.
Yeah, well, Emily didn't get the memo, and there's a lot of Twitch streamers who haven't got the memo because for some reason, you know, there seems to be an algorithm in Rhyme that favors Twitch streamers, which, by the way, when it comes down to these major YouTubers and Twitch streamers who have the algorithm in Rhyme favoring them to where they have all the figgy pudding, It has recently come to my attention, especially in the LA area, where the high people, the big ones, and I'm talking about the big heavyweight ones, the ones with millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of subscribers and viewers on different platforms like TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. You know, there's a thing called orbiters, right? And I've heard stories, and this landed to my attention. Like, I only could say so much, Kit, but here you need to hear this. That some of these big time people have these smaller YouTubers like walk their dogs, clean their car, clean their house, so that the said person that they're orbiting will give them Caesar's blessing. If you think I'm joking, I'm not. Oh man, it is crazy. This YouTube game, really bad. All right. This is why we need to support independent media, man, because independent media at this point, what we're seeing in regards to the large influences, what they're doing to the space, it's only a matter of time before it all comes crashing down. Trust me on it, folks. But anyways, people are saying, Kit, what about the story about the woman giving birth? No, it's true. Calls for Twitch CEO to be arrested after streamer gives birth live on stream. With each passing day, it feels more and more like we're in an episode of Black Mirror. Yes, we are. While streaming really took off during the pandemic, when we'd spend hours watching streamers mouth off playing Fortnite, Twitch has continued to boom and boost over 124 million monthly active users in 2025. Although the controversial Kai Cenat is the most followed channel on Twitch, Kai Cenat really isn't the most controversial. There's been far worse than him out there. He's far from the most divisive person to stream. Twitch has to deal with controversy surrounding hot tubs, yoga pants, and with the Dr. Disrespect scandal, which, by the way, again, there's far worse out there than Dr. Disrespect. I know people have their problems with Dr. Disrespect, but there are some bad people out there. But I gotta tell you, I'll stop right here. But if you could see the bottom tweet right there, Twitch streamer Fandy is currently live streaming while giving birth to her child, and even the Twitch CEO popped into her chat to congratulate her. And the title of the stream was "Baby Time Live Birth." It lasted for 9 hours, and there were over 29,489 viewers. I don't think we're gonna make it as a species. I think it's over, folks. But in regards to this madness, there's even something else that happened here too, and it even impacts the VTuber community because, for example, TwitchCon staff allegedly threw out gifts from VTuber fans. So what's a VTuber? What's these animated, avatars, very popular streamers. Some who have done good work. VTubers were left heartbroken after finding that Twitch staff trashed all their gifts that fans brought to them to TwitchCon. TwitchCon is Twitch's annual celebration, allowing streamers and fans to interact in person in San Diego. However, this year's event has been full of scary moments, drama, despite Twitch promising more security and armed law enforcement. Bullshit. Emiru was assaulted during her meet and greet as a man grabbed her by the face and tried to kiss her. Twitch claimed the attacker was immediately detained, but no, that didn't happen. And now Iron Mouse had to apologize for all the gifts. So she's one of the big time influencers and VTubers who had to apologize to her fans. I deeply apologize to all VTubers and the fans who had meet and greets at the VTuber booth this year. It breaks my heart to know staff threw out all the gifts. I should have known better than to trust them and taking care of everything ahead of time. I'm so sorry, everyone. So what does this tell you? I get that a lot of these big time streamers are on Twitch, but mark my words, if they're not thinking about it already, they're going to be laying down the groundwork to divorce themselves from Twitch, be it permanently live streaming on YouTube, during their own personal streams, like setting up their own work, or either that going on Kick or Rumble or anywhere else. Twitch is that sinking ship. There is no emptying out the water, right? It's going to sink faster than the Lusitania and Titanic combined. It's going to go so far at the bottom that when Twitch implodes, it's going to make the Titan sub look like a little firecracker. We are witnessing a demise of an online streaming platform. Not only does it have to deal with all the political heat from Washington, D.C., but internally and externally, Twitch is cooked. Grab the salt and pepper, people. going to be delicious.